Hi everyone, it's Lillian here from Stamper's Niche. I'm coming to you live from Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada. And some of you who are on here regularly are going, I thought this isn't Monday night. Yes, Monday night is my usual time, but tonight I have a special Facebook Live. It's one that I promised all the people who made a $60 or more purchase from me in February. And so you all get to see the Facebook Live. They got a little bit extra. So this is the night that they are joining me. So let's go down to my desk and see what that's all about. All right, we're going to go. Facebook's been doing a few funny things. Apparently they're doing some new revamping, and I almost couldn't even find where to do my post, but I did. So I hung in there. So it's a good thing I came on here early. That's all I can say. Now, some of you might remember that I posted this during February. February was my birthday month and my Stamping Up anniversary month for becoming a demonstrator. So I celebrated by offering this this gift with anyone who placed for anyone who placed a $60 order. And I showed a little bit how it would look. So March 1st, so once February ended, I tucked a card kit into the mail, and in it was everything to make the card I'm going to show tonight. Well, tonight I'm also going to show that card and then some variations. So you might just get some ideas along the way. Hi, I see some of you on. Hi, everyone. So they got this in the mail, and I figured they should have it by now. So now I'm going to also be sending them a handout with the measurements and pictures and that kind of thing. And I'm also going to send them the YouTube link so they can find it whenever they want. But just pretend you are getting this in the mail and you're opening it up. And this is what's inside. Now, it already looked pretty because it had some designer paper on the envelope. And inside, there's a packet with die cuts and embellishments. And then we have some pieces. So we'll put them to the side. And I'm already intrigued with the gold. And then we've got this gorgeous paper. It was folded just a bit so it would fit in the envelope. And then we have this. So let's take a look-see at what we're going to make. I'm going to show you the card first and then show how we went about doing it. So the card is going to be using designer paper. It's 5.5 by 12, and then it's a fun fold. So it goes like this. And depending what paper you use and everything else, then you can make it as elegant or fun or whimsical or whatever you want. What paper am I using? I am using the gorgeous, gorgeous Symbols of Fortune designer paper. It's on page 23 in the mini catalog. You can see it there. Sorry for the glare there, right down there at the bottom, and you can see the coordinating colors. And I just saw Karen pop on, and I was going to share this at the end, but since she popped on, I'm going to share where I got the idea for this part of the card, not the fold, but for this part. I received this card from Karen as a swap for other demonstrators, and I took this idea. I liked it so much, and I liked her use of the paper, and so then I took that idea and turned it into this. So Karen, thank you for the inspiration. So let's get started. First off, we've got designer paper, and we always like to be able to see all the size of designer paper, right? It's so gorgeous. Every time they come up with more designer paper, Stamping Up outdoes themselves. So this designer paper is scored at 2, and I'm not scoring because it's already done. I did it for the people that received it in the mail. 2, 4, 8, and 10. So what I'm using here is the Simply Scored. You could also use your paper trimmer and use the scoring tool on it. It works either way. So you'll notice here that there's a 4-inch section in the middle. So I'm going to use that as the base. Now the decision is, what paper do I want to be able to see the most of? I think I want this. So now I'm going to fold up here, bring in my bone folder and burnish that fold. And then I'm going to fold back here, just like that. Then I'm going to do the same on the other side. And when you're doing folds that might overlap, I always open it back up. If I leave it here, it sometimes can bind it. So I open it back up, do it this way, and then fold back. Now, those of you who have these kits, you might be using the other side of the paper. You can choose whatever. So now we've got our basic fold. It looks, I always think when you look at it this way, it looks like a frog ready to jump, you know, some of that origami. But anyway, that's how it looks like that. Now we're going to bring in, this is a card, just one piece of cardstock. That's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so our regular card size. And we're going to glue this down. It's going to be flush or even on the top and the bottom, and just have a little bit of the smoky slate showing on the side. So you can use whatever adhesive that you like. I'm going to use my multi-purpose liquid glue because that way I can wiggle it around a little bit if I don't get it right in the right spot. So let's see. And I hope your brains are going a little bit, because I happen to know that a lot of you have a lot of designer paper, and here is a great way of using it very effectively. So now we've got our card base like that, and we're going to set that to the side and bring in these pieces of paper. So this is going to layer on the gold to form the front here, and I'll show you which dies I used. And then this, the bigger white one in your kit, which is the same size as the gold, it is going to go on the inside like that. So let's put this to the side, and let me bring in the dies to show you what I used. I used the stitched rectangle dies. These are so old they had another name. And I'm using these two. So if you start at the center and count out 1, 2, the third one is for where we're going to stamp on the front. And the fourth one is the gold and the white insert. You could use whatever you wanted. That's what I chose to use. So starting from the center, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I used with that. So there we go. So I'm going to put this here and bring this in. And I'm actually going to do my stamping first because I find it easier to arrange embellishments around afterwards. So I've got some basic gray. I wanted it a little darker than the smoky slate so it would show up. And I really like the flowing flowers and the fonts and the words from it. But I wanted just the word happy. And this says happy birthday. So I've shown this before, but just in case you haven't seen it, you can do a couple of things. You can bring in a marker and just color what you want, or you can take a Post-it note or something that's sticky and cover up what you don't want to have ink on it. All right. Let's then ink up what you want. And that got really nice and gooey, so you take it off. Sometimes I have forgotten, unfortunately, but then paper has two sides, right? So I am stamping happy down here. So there I go. I'm just using that. I actually could have used birthday on the inside, but I was going for anniversary. So that's just going to go to the side and get cleaned in a moment. And then I'm bringing in happy anniversary. So it's happy anniversary. And this one is from the Elegantly Said, and it's part of a bundle in the annual catalog. So How many of you are now singing happy, happy anniversary, happy, happy anniversary? Sorry, I shouldn't have planted that in your head, should I? Now, when you're making this at home, those of you who are working with the kit that I sent you, remember you can use whatever words you want. I would just keep the front one down a little bit and the inside wherever you want it. So now we're going to apply this to here. And this is one time I don't use liquid glue. I often will use glue dots or Stamp and Seal, because I find that the foil paper and liquid glue just don't play well together, at least not when I'm handling them. So partly because if you get any liquid glue on here, it is next to impossible to get it off without leaving a smudge mark or removing some of the shine or whatever. So there we've got that like that. And we've got this, so we might as well just fasten it on the inside. We will, while we've got things out, and if you've got directional paper, you want to make sure it's going the right direction, of course. So there's the inside. Now we're going to fasten this to the outside. Now, remember, you're only going to want adhesive on this side panel here, and I am going to use dimensionals as well. So I know that I want dimensionals right down this side, and remember you can use even the edges of your dimensionals. I actually had an in-person class last night with my downline. It was so nice to stamp with people. Then I'm going to slide this here. This is just a way I do it. I know that I want dimensionals right near the fold. So I'm just using this sort of as my guide so that I don't put them too high or too low or too high. And so now I know that when I put this down, no adhesive's going to be on this side. It's all going to be over here. So I ran it down the back of this side here and along the fold. So let's take those backings off. Get rid of that. And center it. I could do it wonky, but it's kind of an elegant card, so I think I'll try to keep with a nice clean look here. Now we're just going to decorate this and we're done. Can you believe that? So we've got some things in our little package here, so let's open this up. And I was reusing some packaging that embellishments came in, so it's well wrapped. So let's dump everything out. And there's just a little, if I can get my hand in there, we've got some little metallic pearls in here as well. So let's get everything out. There, we've got it. So we'll get rid of that crinkly piece of paper. I don't know about you, but it always makes me feel like there's a neat present coming when I hear that crinkly paper. Now I'm going to arrange this on here, however I would like. So I'm thinking I would like it, sort of like that. Now, where did this come from? This came from the Forever Flourishing dies. So I just used the one die and cut out the metallic and also gold, and I did it in vellum as well. And this is one of the sets of dies that is nice and slim, and it will fit in the mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine that's on sale right now. So just a heads up about that. Now, to fasten these two together, I'm actually just going to use a glue dot, and I'm going to put it on the vellum right where I'm going to be putting the bow later, or trying to get it right about there, because adhesive shows through vellum. So we want to do something that is not, we're going to hide the glue. So we're going to put it, about like that. Yeah, I like that. I will put some adhesive just on some of these petals. I want the others to be nice and free so that they look just relaxed and pretty. And there we go. So we've got some glued down. We've got some that are going to flow in the breeze, so to speak. Then we've got the bow. And yes, those of you who got the kit, I even tied the bow for you. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a mini glue dot and kind of roll it over so that it's long and skinny. And fasten it on the back of our gold cord. Just like that. And then hide that glue dot that we had. Now I gave you, as you can see in the sample here, I only used one of the metallic and I used the gold. But gold and silver mixes well, and with the smoky slate here, I included in your packet a couple of golds and a couple of silver because you can easily mix that in and have it look really nice. So I wanted to give you options. So let's try that on this one. So let's take one of the silvers, trying to hold the card closed here. And I think I'll put one of the silvers there, and we'll take one of the golds and put it here. And I always like groupings of 3. I don't know if, so I'm going to take one more. And let's see, groupings of 3 or grouping of 1, like odd numbers is what I'm thinking. So let's see, where shall I put it? I'm going to put it up there, tuck it right in there. So there we have it. That quick and easy. You have this elegant card ready to go. And then we've got the coordinating envelope. If you had extra, even more designer paper, instead of putting it here, you could glue it to the flap and then trim it off. And many of you have seen me do that. And where do you get the ideas? You can get the ideas from anywhere, even from a card that a friend sent you. Now, I want to show you some other cards made with this exact design. So here's what we made. And I'm just going to move the stamps out of the way. And what I have here, this one is from some designer paper that was from Celebration. And I know many of you have it, and some of you weren't too sure what to do with this designer paper. So basically, all I did was do the same fold with this designer paper, put the pear pizzazz on the back, and then I used a couple of punches and words, and that's it. The words are from, it's one of my favorites. Let me just see here. Where is it? Happy and Heartfelt. That's it. It's one of my favorite ones in the, other than the one that I used on the Happy. But I love these words, and they go with the stamp set, that one. So there, that's got good words too. So there is a neat way of using that designer paper that has a border, and it really showcases it. So there's another sample. Now hang on, I've got three more samples. Many of you know that I'm rather obsessed with the Waves of the Ocean collection of products. And so I took the Waves of the Ocean designer paper and the stamp set, and I just layered some circles. And I used happy, 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 and put a bit of twine on here. And there we go. So there it is with the Waves of the Ocean collection of products. So again, a totally different look. This is elegant. This is just spring. This is masculine, or whatever way you want to go. And then I thought, well, I haven't played with my peach stuff for a while, and the peach stamp set and dies are on sale with the bundle sale that's going on right now. So I played with that, and here you go. So again, another great, and see how the backing just adds a bit of stability to the designer paper and just peeks out. And so it can tie in with the rest. And I have one more. Are you ready for it? So this one, I used the Beauty of the Earth designer paper and the tailor-made tags. So you can use anything here. You could just cut a rectangle and put it on here, or cut a square. And so I put the words here, and then just cut, here's where I did, just cut a rectangle and did that. And you could make a whole set of these. So those of you who are wondering, how am I going to use my designer paper? I hate to use one side and not see the other side. This just might be for you. For those of you who earned the kit and the handout and everything, congratulations. I hope this has inspired you to see that you can take one design and go lots of different directions with it. And if you like this idea of taking one design, learning one design, and then going different directions with it, that's exactly what Stamping Staycation is all about too. And we are so excited to see how many of you have shared with friends, because many of you have taken it, are sharing Stamping Staycation with friends, and we are getting many people buying the discounted 24-hour sale, and all that money is going to the Canada Ukrainian Foundation. So just big hugs. I just have goosebumps here. I could just hug all of you. So thank you so much. But do have fun with these cards. It's a wonderful layout. It's so easy to do once you realize that it's easy scoring. And once again, here's the card we made tonight. So have some fun with it. If you do make this card, I'd love if you'd post a picture in here. And of course, if you share it, I would love that you share or give me the thumbs up. Or if you're watching on YouTube, of course, subscribe and that thumbs up as well, because that really helps build my visibility on YouTube so that more people can craft with me. So have fun with it. Oh, somebody's watching from New Zealand. Grace, welcome. What time is it there? I think it's must be on the opposite time as here practically. So welcome. Going to New Zealand is on my bucket list someday. So all of you, welcome, or thank you, pardon me. I'm getting so caught up in New Zealand here. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the love I'm seeing, and have fun with this, and please share what you've done. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.